Let's build some muscle in just 30 minutes with this time under tension resistance band workout. So I'm going to be demonstrating with these monster band or pull-up assist bands or resistance bands, but you can also use tube bands, physio bands, or body weight only. Now, today's workout is 6 exercises in a circuit, 60 seconds on with a very slow controlled tempo. So it's going to be a 2-count pull, a 4-count slow controlled release. That's where the time under tension comes in. We build those muscles by breaking them down just with those small micro tears so that we can heal and get stronger. We have 3 rounds of this. Now, please pause here before we hear a timer going off. That is going to, I will be beginning to explain our exercises, but pause here, get your kinetic balance fitness warm up in to help prevent pain, reduce injury, and get more from this workout. Now, our first exercise, we place that resistance band under our front foot and we grab a hold of it with the opposite arm. Now, we're going to stay on this side the whole 60 seconds. The other leg that's available is going to step down and back into a lunge, feet hip width apart. We're going to come up into a balance or kickstand, and then we're going to pull into that band, pointing the thumb or the palm up towards the ceiling, raising that arm to about shoulder height. So this is a lunge with the carryaway arm. Down into that lunge, come with me, up into balance or kickstand, and we can bring that band out around our foot, and then palm or thumb pointed up towards the ceiling. Now, as we rotate and pull into that tension, we've got a 2-count pull up, 4-count slow controlled release back down. We want to stay tall and long through the crown of that head. The chin is tucked back, the crown is extended, and the same movement can be done with dumbbells. So if you don't have resistance bands, don't worry. Same movement can be done with a dumbbell, same slow controlled. Right? We want to make sure that we feel almost like a stretch through the outside of that armpit. Last rep here. Nice, slow, controlled. We're going to shake out that balance leg even if we were kickstanding, and we're going to switch sides. So same thing, opposite side. Now we should try to keep count of the repetitions here. So we're doing the same number of repetitions on the same side. 5 seconds. Switch balance foot, switch hands. Opposite leg lunge here. Feet are hip width apart. We're feeling for all 5 of those toes to be pushing into the floor. So hip width apart is our bony hips. Helps line up those toes, knees, and hips. Our toes should be pointed straight ahead. And when I show you from the side, what you're going to see is I'm tall and long through the crown of that head. My ear is over my shoulders, over top of those hips. Even as I bring that arm up and out to the side. Now remember, I'm rotating that palm and pointing that thumb either behind me or up towards the ceiling. That's going to be a challenge. This is what works, what are called our external rotators. It strengthens our shoulder girdle. It improves our posture. It's going to help pull those shoulders down and back so that we reduce that roll forward. 5 seconds, one last one. Remember, 2 count up. Slow, controlled release back down. Our next exercise, you're going to feel a little bit stronger. Pick up the band. We're going to go to a seated banded row. Band goes underneath those feet. Feet are hip width apart. Now, 1 loop is going to be challenging. 2 loops doubles it up. So consider that. Feet hip width apart, slight bend in those knees. Sit back into those hips and chest up tall. We pull towards those hips. And then it's that slow, controlled release into that tension. Now choke up on that band so that pull is really strong, nice, slow, controlled. When we control what's called the eccentric movement, right, that band pulling against us, we get micro tears or small tears in our muscles. This is what our body will rebuild and where we will build new muscle. So increasing, it's also a great way to improve strength and move up in weight if we feel like we've kind of hit a wall in our progress, in our progressive overload. So as we pull towards those hips, I want you to try to keep those shoulders down and back, Chin tucked, head back, and that chest up tall. We are not squeezing the shoulder blades together. We just pull until those arms stop. Beautiful. We're going to hop up to the feet and go to our deadlift. So band underneath the feet. Now on that last one, there's no real dumbbell modification here. All right, this deadlift, same thing can be done with dumbbells. Feet hip width apart. We bend the knees as if we're picking something up off the floor. Choke up on those bands so we get tension throughout. And then that big up and squeeze. The 4 count down is with gravity. So slow, control down. Let that band slowly pull you. And then 2 count back up. All right, so you control that band. Slow down. Big push up and squeeze. Now, watch my back here. My head stays nice and neutral. I'm not looking at the same spot on the wall, meaning my head's not here. My belly button is gently pulled in, supporting my spine. I have a small arch in my low back, and I stand by squeezing my bum. I push my hips forward, and I drive my feet down. And my chest stays up tall. I don't want that round here. We're proud of the work. 5 seconds. Aiming for 8 reps, guys. More than that's going to be a challenge because of the tempo. Now this next one, I get a lot of people that really want to work on push-ups. A great way to work up to that is with a resistance band. So band around the back in 1 loop, choke up on it or in 2 loops. Band under the hands. Hands are wider than shoulder width, in line with the middle of our chest. And we go down nice, slow controlled back up. Now where we really want to use this is on an incline. If we're working towards a full length push-up on the ground, we want to use an incline, such as a chair or a set of stairs. A set of stairs is great because you can progress going down the steps, getting closer and closer towards the floor. The higher up on the steps you go, the easier it's going to be on the core, on the back, to keep this tall and long plank posture. So chin tucked, head back. Arms are about 45 degrees from the side, right here. We don't want them all the way out this way. The band will roll up. So we want to stay nice and low here. 8 seconds, guys, on the home stretch, because I know these are hard. And if you don't have an incline, you can do them on your knees, which I can demonstrate next round. Our final exercise in this circuit is a recovery exercise. It's a glute bridge with a pullover. It's going to feel like a nice stretch. We lie down on the floor. Feet are pointed straight ahead, hip width apart. We're going to lift the hips up, squeezing the bum. Bum goes back down towards the floor, and we're going to reach the arms overhead. Our arms are locked straight. We reach towards the top of the thumbs, the top of the fists, or the back of the hands. Each of those is a progression, but the key is as we reach overhead, and I'm going to show you, we keep the shoulders down and back. So you can kind of see my shoulder blade is sticking way out to the side. I feel a stretch through my shoulder blade, and it stops my arms. I don't reach very far, right? If I let my shoulder blade climb up towards the ceiling this way, I can get all the way here. If I pull it down and back, I get a big stretch through the outside. It stops those arms, but I'm actually working a small muscle called the serratus anterior. We're stretching that big lat muscle, and we're getting more out of our workout, okay? So core with that glutes, hips down, reach overhead. 30-second breather. That is set number 1. Now, tune in. We're aiming for 8 repetitions. We want to build muscle. Were your last 2 to 3 repetitions challenging for you? If they were not challenging, I would like you to increase the weights. If they were challenging, stay right where you are, okay? Really focus on that slow, controlled movement back down. We have that lunge carry away. Band underneath our front foot, stepping that opposite leg down and back, so same hand and foot on that same side, and then up and out to the side. Palm rotating up towards the ceiling or thumb towards the ceiling. Chin tucked, head back, Good, strong posture, big squeeze on the bum, working that balance. If you're not ready for that balance, work up to it. We step into the kickstand, and then you can lift up, or you can stay in that kickstand. We're all in different places of our journey. And don't forget the time under tension here. Slow, controlled up, 4 count, back down, and rotation on that hand. All right? So really focus on that tempo, controlling that movement. 1 more repetition, so 5 seconds. That's how long it should be taking here. Yes. And boy, my hip is feeling it, my whole leg. Feeling it work all through the outside of that glute, all the way down the leg into the foot. Switch foot, switch working arm. And take a deep breath. 5 seconds. Here we go, starting into round number 2. Building the muscle. Down and back into that lunge. Now keep in mind, everybody's lunges are going to be different depths. I have a deep lunge. I'm going down almost all the way to the floor. My chest gets a slight incline forward, as if I'm almost like reaching towards my toes, but I'm not rounding here, right? My chest stays up tall. But that helps me activate that glute on my front leg just a little extra. So your lunge should be pain-free. That's the range of movement we are aiming for. Now, if you can get all the way down, super, because that's a functional movement, right? The goal, the idea of a lunge is it mimics getting up off the floor. So that's what we're mimicking, but range of motion is all about pain-free and good alignment. So toes, knees, hips, nice straight line. Last one, slow, controlled up. Slow, controlled release down. Beautiful work. Now check in on that seated banded row. I'm gonna switch bands and double it up. So I'm gonna double this band. It's gonna go underneath those feet, so it's just folded in half, almost like I have handles then. 5 seconds and you're coming with me. Slight bend in those knees, sit back into those hips. 2 count pull, and then a 4, 3, 2, 1, release back to that start. And the same thing again. Now you might notice my feet are flexed with my toes curled. This gives me a little extra activation on a shin muscle that helps support my feet. You'll also notice my chin is tucked and my head is back. I'm reinforcing good posture. And I pull until my arms stop. All right, I'm not getting an extra arch in my back. I am not pinching my shoulder blades together. You will find that if you pinch your shoulder blades together, your chin will pull forward, your shoulders pull up towards those ears. We want to relax that musculature. We want to stop its overuse and improve our posture. Really focus on that tempo, guys. Embrace the burn. 1 more repetition on the home stretch. There you go. All right, and we go to that deadlift. Whether you double it up or you choke up on that band, we want to get good tension. This is going to be your strongest movement. So challenge those legs, but do not forsake it for pain in the low back. All right, so, and if you do have pain in the low back in a squat, in a deadlift, feel free to go to a squat. The only difference is, as a squat is like sitting in a chair, just like this, chest stays up tall, right? Compared to picking something up off the floor, where we dip that chest more towards parallel to the ground. It's still that slow, controlled down. Exhale, stand up. 2 more, or 2 counts down, or 4 counts down, I'm sorry. 2 counts, stand up and squeeze. Nice neutral back. Our chest stays tall. We stick those hips back. We bend the knees. This is important. We've got to bend the knees. We don't want to be stiff. And we focus in, standing up, pushing the hips forward, squeezing that bum. All right. Exhale as you push into it. 1 last one, slow control down. Push it up and squeeze. All right, and that push up. I know this is one of the hardest ones. If you feel that band is rolling, you can take a very light band and double it over, right? Fold it in half, and then make an X. That way it kind of stays in place. I want to demonstrate on my knees. My knees are hip width apart, and it's kind of like my knees are a hinge. All right, I'm just bending down, pushing up into that resistance band. This is going to help strengthen my chest, my shoulders, and my arms to work towards that push-up. Unfortunately, it doesn't get into that core, but if we go into one leg up and alternate the leg that's up, we can start building that core. All right, we're trying not to rotate. We're squeezing that bum to build up to a full-length push-up. Better yet is to walk your way down that incline using the steps, a kitchen chair, a coffee table, a couch, whatever you have at your disposal to slowly walk your way down towards the floor. Push-ups are not easy. 5 seconds, slow down. Exhale to count up. Push-ups are not easy, guys. It's why that's something that you really have to work on and build up to. So, build up to it by adding that resistance band on and building up that core. Glute bridge pullover, finishing round 2. Toes, knees, hips, straight line. This is still a slow, controlled tempo, right? It's really important that the arms are locked. They stay shoulder width apart, and you really tune in to that stretch along the outside of the armpits, all right? And challenging yourself, whether it's to the tops of your thumbs, the tops of your fists, or the back of your hands, all right? You should feel that stretch, which is really working a shoulder muscle along underneath that or at the base of your shoulder blade, which is going to help our shoulder blades move properly, protect our shoulder from injury, all right, and improve our posture. 15 seconds to finish set number 2. Focus on squeezing the bum, reaching overhead, honing in on that stretch and that shoulder position. Beautiful. All right, quick drink, and we're gonna go into round number 3. Now, we were tuning in to our weight and making sure the last 2 to 3 repetitions were a challenge. Now we're gonna tune in on our form and make sure that as we fatigue for round number 3, we're not breaking form. Lunge with that banded carry away. So band under one foot, opposite hand to that foot. We step down and back into our lunge, up into balance, up and out, palm pointing up towards the ceiling, slow controlled release. Now, form breaks look like your knee going in, your foot kind of collapsing, our shoulder pulling up towards our ears here. Now that is exaggerated. The other thing you'll notice is your chin will want to pull forward. All right, so you're going to end up lifting your head up, and that's going to pull upward on that shoulder. So we want to stay chin back, squeeze the bum, and feeling that stretch along the outside of the armpit, just like we do in that glute bridge pullover. And as we fatigue here, we're going to want to let that resistance band pull on us. We are in control, right? We work that time under tension. There you go. Slow, controlled releases here, guys, for this 3rd and final round. Switching feet, switching working arms. All right, so we've got lunges, we've got deadlifts. We're working our shoulders here. We hit back, we hit chest. Lots of things we're working on. All of them kind of come together in this first exercise. So hone in on your balance, hone in on your control. Nice and tall and long. Try to keep the number of repetitions even between both sides. You might also notice that as you fatigue, one side is easier to balance on. It's totally normal, but challenge yourself to balance on that weaker side, especially if you were able to hold your strong side the whole time. All right, so if you need to tap down in between to catch the balance and then come up, Do it. This is your workout, right? Slow and steady wins the race. It's about building, challenging, and slowly progressing. 1 to 2 more repetitions. Really control that down. Last one here. Up and out. Slow, controlled. Seated banded row on the ground. You might notice that strength training doesn't increase your heart rate that much, especially on these exercises where we're on the floor. However, building muscle increases our metabolism. So sit back into those hips, chest up tall. We're going to slowly pull that band towards the hips. 4, 3, 2, 1, back to start. Really paying attention. We're not squeezing the shoulder blades together. All right? We're not rolling the shoulders forward or crunching our abs down. We're not letting the chin pull forward. It can be easy to kind of get breathing out of tempo on these time under tension. We're trying to exhale as we pull. And then inhaling on that slow, controlled release. That can be really hard to do. So try to tune into that. See how you're feeling. You've got 1 repetition left. If we're burning, focus in, embrace it. This is where muscle is made and where we challenge ourselves to grow and move towards our goals. Everybody has come here to grow and change in some way, right? It's building that awareness and resilience. Deadlift, hips down, chest up. Big push through the floor. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Changing direction, big up and squeeze. Chest up tall. Belly button gently pulled in. If you notice that your belly button is kind of pulling out or your belly is sticking out, like if I push my belly out that way, you need to work on controlling what's called the transverse abdominis and getting into a better timing for spinal support. And I would like you to switch to a squat and pay attention to that position so we're not putting that back in a prone position. Long and tall through the crown of that head, keeping those knees in line with those toes. 10 seconds, 2 reps. We should be feeling the burn, feeling the challenge, but not breaking form. 1 last stand just for the finish, right? And the push-up for the finish. Whether it's 1 loop or 2, no matter where you are on your journey towards a full-length push-up, or if you've already made it to the floor, rock star. Push-ups are hard. Challenge yourself. Hands wider than shoulder width. Nice slow control down in the middle of that chest. Exhale and push. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2. We're not reaching the nose towards the floor. You'll notice as you fatigue, you're going to want to pull forward. It's not about going that deep. It's about getting the upper arms about parallel to the floor. That'll do. We want to keep the glutes tight, the belly button in. We don't want those hips to dip towards the floor. And you are going to feel this, whether you are a push-up pro or new to the journey, right? This resistance band is really going to add on. I am feeling fatigued. 1 last rep, nice slow control down, and exhale, push up and squeeze. Oh, embracing that challenge through the chest, through the shoulders, the back of those arms, and the core, but hopefully no pain in that low back. Glute bridge pull over for the finish. Toes, knees, hips, nice straight line. Hips up, bum tight, back down, reach it overhead. Chin tucked as well. Reaching the hands towards the floor, feeling that stretch through the outside of those armpits. Really focusing on feeling the shoulder blades rotate. That is the stretch that you're feeling.
along the outside of the armpits, okay? That movement helps protect those shoulders, help improve our posture. And while we're working that core, I love to add the glute bridge in here just because we're already in position anyway. We might as well get some extra glute activation, extra core work. That gentle pulling on that belly button supports the spine even when we lift our bum up off the floor. Yes. Almost there. Enjoy that stretch. One last one for the finish. Yes. Great, great work. Get a quick drink. We're going to actually stay on the floor. I want to change it up today. Get some different stretches in. Open up those hips a little bit. So our first stretch we're going to do with those deadlifts is going to be a hamstring stretch. Feet hip width apart, legs nice and straight. Opposite arm to leg. We're going to kick like we're kicking over the opposite shoulder. So kick the leg up and slowly relax it back down. Kick it up, feel that stretch through the outside back of that leg, potentially down into that calf. Release back down to start. Nice, slow, and controlled with that nice kick. And we want to kick until we no longer feel that stretching sensation. This helps calm the hamstrings. So if you are somebody who tends to get sore in your hamstrings, please give this stretch a try. If you get hamstring cramps, again, give this stretch a try. You're going to notice, go ahead and switch whenever you're ready, when that leg, the back of that thigh calms down. This may correlate with burning in the front of that thigh. Totally normal. Nice kick like we're kicking over that opposite shoulder. Foot stays relaxed. You will notice that you get a bigger stretch if you flex that foot. You're not stretching musculature there. What you are feeling is a stretch through the sciatic nerve. So you're not getting any extra range of motion. You're just kind of like agitating a nerve, which sciatic pain, if you've ever experienced it, is extremely uncomfortable. You don't want to get on nerves. All right. And whenever you're ready, we're going to roll to our stomach. All right. We're going to bring a leg up and out to the side. Knee in line with those hips. Your hips are going to pick up off the floor. And then we're going to push our bum down as if we're trying to squeeze under a very low rope, right? And you're going to feel a deep stretch through the deep inside back of that thigh. Really nice stretch here. Oh, it feels really good on the ground here. Perfect. And we want to hold our stretches 30 seconds to 2 minutes until we feel that stretching sensation calm down. So if you think of your muscles like a gum band, you want to pull them until they're in a healthier length. So, and that's going to be whenever they stop kind of pulling. So opposite side, knee up and out to the side, and then pushing those hips down towards the floor. Big stretch through the deep inside back of that thigh. Beautiful. Stretches a muscle called the posterior adductor magnus, which pulls on our SI joint. We're now going to open up those hips. So think 90 degrees on each leg, and we're going to shift forward over that front leg, kind of pushing that hip into the ground, getting a nice stretch through the outside back of the bum. And then we're going to rotate the legs and sit down into that opposite leg, keeping that chest up a little bit taller, and then rotating back, sitting that hip chest down, pushing the hip towards the floor, really opening up those hips, getting a nice stretch deep within that, that glute, and again, opening up our SI joint. So preventing a pull from our pelvis on our spine, helping reduce things like low back pain, hip pain, and even knee issues. We're going to finish with a child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, reach the hands away, just like we do in that glute bridge pullover, shoulders down and back, and we press the chest down towards the floor. Big deep breath in. Expand the belly, expand the ribs. Exhale. Press that chest down. Big deep breath in. Stretching out the muscles. And one last one. In with all of the good, strong, empowering, healthy thoughts. Exhale with anything that's holding you back because you pushed through. You challenged your body. We created those small micro tears with a good, strong focus on good form, proper number of repetitions, strong tempo that induces our bodies to change. All right? We challenged ourselves mentally, physically to build muscle, bone health, and metabolism. I would love to hear how you are feeling, how everything went for you, and your feedback is very important to me. So keep up the great work and never hesitate to reach out with questions, comments, concerns, and how I can help you more.